Welcome back to the Osiris Conflict, presented by Miniature Game Montage. As defying Urzogs were forced to retreat at the hands of the Keepers, news reached the nearest Imperial outpost, number 266. With a new threat imminent, years of struggle and hardship were owed back to the Orks of the Sand Sea. Officer Gray gathered his men and decided they would strike the Greenskins on their next supply run. Our story continues there, on the scraps of an old industrial zone. Today we have a matchup between the veteran Guardsman and the Greenskins. This is a narrative game, and it will be our first time using the Krieg, so be on the lookout for mistakes. The veteran Guardsmen are the Death Reapers belonging to Outpost 266 on Osiris. As this is their first game, they start with 4 requisition points. They spend 2 of them, one on a tactical uplink, allowing them to use 1 tactical ploy without paying a CP, and another on Munitorum supply lines, allowing them to get 1 bonus CP in the first turning point. Spec Ops is victory or death, which is simple for Operation 1, just win 6 games. Let me introduce you to Officer Gray, leader of the Death Reapers. He is a sergeant veteran with plasma pistol and power sword. He's accompanied by Bas Galasco, a sniper veteran, Pask Reeve, a spotter veteran, Erlen Heckler, a bruiser veteran, Rolf Ackerman, a gunner with flamer, Fyodor Ector, a gunner with melt-a-gun, Karsk Thinman, a hardened veteran with bionic arm, Griff Dansk, a gunner with grenade launcher, and Van Lecht, a medic veteran, and Karsk Coulson, a trooper veteran. Defying Urzogs spent 1 requisition for a supply drop. They get a boss pole and stick bomb. Urzog Stump Krumpa equips that boss pole and leads the way with his Slugga and Power Claw. Grod accompanies him with the Slugga Choppa and the stick bomb. Farksnod is operating with severe concussion from last game, making him -1 ballistic skill and -1 weapon skill. He's Slugga Choppa. Ruggut, Slazbag, Snickrat, Snood, Zug, and Wutz all have Slugga Choppa combinations. Gruck is back with his rocket launcher, and Dakadak is back with his big shooter. Today's mission is Loot and Salvage, where an operative can perform the Loot and Salvage action for 1 AP if within 1 inch of an objective marker it controls that has not been looted that turning point. Until the start of the next turning point, that objective marker is looted. Each marker can be looted a maximum of 3 times during the game. Each time an operative performs this action, they score 1 VP to a maximum of 4 VPs per player per turning point. For TAC Ops, the Death Reapers have Hold the Line, which is to not allow enemies into their deployment zone, Stand Fast, which is about controlling 2 objectives or more than your opponent, and Damage Limitation, which is not allowing incapacitations to occur during a turning point. The Greenskins are Seek and Destroy, and they get Execution, which is about incapacitating more operatives than you have incapacitated, Headhunter, which is knock out the opposing leader, and Challenge, which is to incapacitate an enemy fighter that you select with your own fighter that you choose. In the scouting phase, the Death Reapers select Infiltrate, while the fighting Urzogs select Recon. The Death Corps of Krieg will be up for the first turn. Thank you as always, and I hope you enjoy this matchup. And turn 1 is upon us. The Krieg reveal Stand Fast, and the Orks reveal Challenge. A Guardsman order, move, is also issued from Officer Gray. And Into the Breach also being played for 1 CP. The Krieg did start with 1 extra CP, so they will go back down to 3, and this will allow them to get an extra dash maneuver in. And Officer Gray acts first. He is going to use his first action to move up to the token, and his second action will be to loot it. And this will score 1 victory point for the Death Corps immediately. Back over to the Orks, Gruck is going to eye down Von Lecht with his rocket. He's going to take 5 attack dice, and he is going to hit on 5s. And there is no hits. We move back over to the Death Corps. We have an artillery strike coming in. They are able to see Snickrat here in the back as he is visible to them. So this is going to be 6 shots coming down. It will hit on 5s, and this does have the blast rule, so it will splash out and hit these other 2 orcs beside him. So 6 shots coming out, and there will be 3 crits. And he has 3 saves, and those come out needing 5s. All of them are going to fail. That is immediately going to do 9 damage to him. Snood also getting hit because he is nearby. There will be 1 there, and he has a defense die of 3. Only needs 1 die here because he gets a 6. That shot is blocked. And then also shots raining down on Wutz, again needing 5s, and there will be 1 hit that goes through. And again, he's just going to roll 1 die here because that's all he needs. He gets a 6. That shot is deflected. Snickrat will then activate and move into cover with his conceal order. A sniper shot then comes across from Fast Lasco. First getting an assist from the spotter. Targeting Wutz here, he's going to make him like he has an engage order, although he has a conceal order. He's been spotted. The sniper's going to take a shot. 4 shots ringing out with the long last on Wutz, and he will receive cover, and he hits on 2s. So we do roll out 2 1s, but there is a critical and 1 normal hit. As an orc, he will get 3 defense saves, and he is going to go ahead and cover one of these out, so he just has to deal with this pesky critical. He'll be fishing for 6s on 2 dice. And he either needs to get 2 5s here or 1 6, and he gets neither, so there will be 1 critical shot that goes through. That will cause 3 damage on Wutz. Back over to the orcs, Slazbag is going to move up, getting behind cover, and then we flip back over to the Guardsman, and we've got Erland Heckler. He is going to move around the left flank, and he does have this token beside him because he has been marked by, or marked for the Headhunter, and he is going to take a shot with his last rifle, and he's going to be targeting Slazbag, and he's going to have 4 shots that ring out, and he will be hitting on 4s. Slazbag is in cover. And this shot should not have taken place because he does have a conceal order in cover. That means he should not be able to be seen. However, we do go ahead and roll these out, and there will be 2 hits on 4s. He gets 4 shots with his last rifle, and he'll remove one of these for cover. 2 dice come out, and it's blocked, so it has no effect. Roget then moves forward using a dash ability, getting behind cover. He also has a conceal order. Von Lecht, the medic, then activates for the Guardsman. He is going to reposition and was going to take aim, but upon further notice is getting the benefit of cover and will not be able to take this shot. Von Lecht is going to target Gruck, however, who fired that missile earlier. 4 shots coming from his last gun. We should have given him the benefit of cover here, but we did miss this. These 4 dice will hit on 4s, and there will be 3 that goes through, 1 critical. Again, he should have gotten the benefit of cover, automatically saving 1 of these and just rolling 2 dice. Instead, 3 dice come out, which is his normal save, and he saves 1 of them. That will be 5 total damage on Gruck. Dakavek then surges forward, and he is going to target Van Lecht with his big shooter. This thing has 6 shots that ring out. We'll need 5s to hit, and Van Lecht is in cover. So 6 shots going out, needing 5s, and we are going to get 1 critical and 1 hit. So cover is going to take care of the normal hit, and I will get 2 defense saves, and looking for a 6. Do not get it. That'll be 3 damage on the medic. Back to the Guardsman, Ralph Ackerson is going to move with his Flamer, just repositioning, trying not to get too close to these orcs, but trying to set up in case they win initiative on the second turning point. Farksnot is then going to move up as well and dash, getting into cover with his conceal order. And then back over to the Guardsman, Karsk Coulson is going to move up to an objective and loot it, giving them 1 victory point, bringing their total to 2. Herzog Stompkrumpa with his boss pole is then going to move up with his first action. He is going to loot with his second, the boss pole giving him an extra action, so he's going to then dash to cover. Fyodor Eckler with his Melt-A-Gun is going to get that free triangle move for the Guardsman order. He is going to dash to the bottom of the ladder and then use his normal move to get on top, looking for that vantage point. Over for the Orcs, Zug will activate with a move and dash, getting close to that first objective marker. And then back to the Guardsman, we've got Griff Danks. He is going to move and dash, getting behind cover, not really having any eligible targets to shoot with that grenade launcher. We've then got Wutz, who's going to move up to objective number 6 and use his second action to loot it, scoring them a victory point. And then Karsk Thinman is going to move behind cover, and he is going to target Wutz with his last gun. This will be 4 shots, and he is in the open, so hitting on 4s. And that's going to result in 1 normal and 1 critical hit, and there will be 3 defense dice that are taken, and he's going to be looking for 5s and 6s here, and he blocks both of them. The remaining moves belong to the Orks, as Grud is going to move up with that stick bomb. Would love to launch it, but I do have a conceal order. And then Snood will be the last move of the first turning point. He is going to move up behind cover as well. And that brings the first turning point to a close, with the score tied at 2-2. The Krieg do not score stand fast. While they do occupy 2 objectives, they do not occupy more than their opponent. So we're tied up at 2, and turning point 2 coming up next. Okay, turn 2 initiative rolls going out, and the Krieg will be up. The veteran Guardsman playing Overcharge Last Guns, while the Orks are playing Get Stuck In, allowing them to reroll 1 die in combat. Damage limitation and Hold the Line being revealed by the Krieg. Karsk Coulson will use his first action to loot. That'll take them to 3 victory points. He will use his second action to move back behind cover, and should have changed his token to a conceal order. Over to the Orks, Wutz will announce a charge into Griff Danks, and he is getting stuck in with his Choppa. That'll be 4 attacks, rerolling 1 for Get Stuck In. So 4 attacks coming across from the Choppa, needing 3s. 2 of these go through, and he does get to reroll 1. That is going to turn this into 1 critical and 2 normal hits. Griff Danks with his bayonet will get 3 dice to attack back with, and he will hit on 4s, and that's 2 crits and a hit. Wutz is going to parry out his 1 hit, Griff is going to parry out the normal hit, and then they'll both strike each other, the Choppa causing 4 damage, the bayonet causing 2. And continuing action, Bass Lasco lines up a sniper shot, getting a spot from Pass Greaves, and that operative will be treated like he has an engage order, although he has a conceal order. This will be 4 shots coming from the sniper rifle, hitting on 2s, and it looks like all of these are going to hit. These 2 criticals will do 3 mortal wounds each. That's 6 mortal wounds. He will remove 1 of these dice for cover and roll 2 defense, and looking for 5s or better, he will block out that normal shot, but 6 mortal wounds going on to Grodd. That will be enough to put Grodd into an injured status. Over on the other flank, Rugat is going to charge into the Guardsman Bruiser, and once again he swings a Choppa, 4 attacks coming out, needing 3s. He will get to re-roll 1 of these for Get Stuck In, and that is going to be 3 regular hits. The Guardsman will strike back with his Trench Club, 3 attacks, and he will hit on 2s because he is getting an assist from the Flamer, and that'll be 1 crit and 1 normal hit. And in resolving these, Rugat is going to use 2 of his normal hits to parry 1 of the criticals. They will then strike each other, but the Bruiser will get to ignore the damage from this attack, and Rugat will end up taking 3 damage. And back on the other flank, we have Karsk Thinman with his bionic arm. It essentially gives him a 5-up Feel No Pain. He is going to charge into Wutz, and he gets 3 attacks from that bionic arm. He will get an assist from Griff Danks. This will put him on 3s to hit. Only going to get 1 of these. Going to use a command point reroll to try to get another 3, and there's only 1. Wutz is going to swing with his Choppa, and he needs 3s in order to connect. He will get to reroll 1 for Get Stuck In, and he is going to come across with 2 total hits. And then as we resolve these out, he is going to parry out 1 of his normal hits and take a strike from Wutz, and that'll cause 4 damage. We will roll his 5-up Feel No Pain, which does fail. Now back to the Orks, Zug is going to use his first action to loot, gaining the Orks a victory point, and then he is just going to stay concealed. Von Lecht over for the Guardsman is going to change up to a conceal order, and he is going to relocate near the objective marker and use his second action to loot as well, gaining the Guardsman a victory point. Snood is then going to move up to his objective marker and loot that, tying the game up at 4. And then up top with the Melt-A-Gun, we have got a move and a dash trying to get into short range. That's something I didn't really realize with this weapon when I put him up there. Gruck is going to move up and loot, now giving the Orks the advantage. And now Griff Danks is going to fight in combat here. Both of these guys are injured. That gives them -1 to their weapon skill and ballistic skill, but he is getting an assist. This will be 3 swings hitting on 4s, and all of them are going to miss. And this is going to allow swings back from the Choppa of What's, and he does get 4 dice, and he is looking for 3s, and 2 of these are going to come across. He does get to reroll 1 for Get Stuck In, and this is going to result in 2 crits and 1 normal hit. That is going to be enough to eliminate Griff. We do play in Death Atonement for 1 CP, but I totally screw this up. I'll put this in the notes. Snickrat then moves around the back, keeping his conceal order. He's on 1 wound. And then Erland Heckler is going to strike Rugat with his Trench Club. 3 attacks coming across, normally hits on 3s, getting an assist, so hitting on 2s. 1 crit, 2 normal hits, the Choppa strikes back, he gets to re-roll 1 of these for Get Stuck In, just needing 3s, and 3 of these will go through with 1 critical. The Bruiser is going to strike him with that critical, that will remove 1 of his normal hits per the Bruiser's special rule. Rugat is then going to strike him back, then there will be a parry from the Guardsman, getting rid of that last hit, and he will strike with that last one. That does a total of 6 damage to Rugged. He has 1 wound left, becomes injured, and Erland Heckler takes 4 damage, also becomes injured. Over for the Orks, Farksnot activates, moves on to an objective and loots it, giving them a victory point, and then the Flamer, Raph Ackerman, is going to charge into combat with Rugat, trying to eliminate his last wound, getting an assist from Erland Heckler next to him. So normally hitting on 4s, that assist makes this on a 3 with his bayonet. 3 dice come out, all of these just normal hits. And Rugat, of course, will get swings back from his Choppa, and what a great roll that is, getting to re-roll 1 for Get Stuck In, and it's another critical, but he gets to strike first. He only has 1 wound remaining and will incapacitate Rugat. Dakadak then activates, he will move into position, and he is going to target Raph Ackerman with his big shooter. So Dakadak fires down with 6 shots, needing 5s, and he is in cover. He does have an engage order, however. 1 of these is going to hit, and the cover is automatically going to negate that hit. Now back over to the Guardsman, we do have a tactical asset coming in, a guided missile coming down on Farksnot, and this is 4 dice. It will need 3s to hit, and it's AP -1, so those 4 dice come out, only 1 hit. So AP -1 will take him to a 6-up save. He does have 3 defense, and those are going to fail, so that will be 4 damage onto Farksnot. Back to the Greenskins, Slazbag is going to move up, staying in cover with his conceal order, and then Officer Gray is going to make a concealed move with a dash, getting into cover. Grodd activates next, hops over the obstacle, and then he is going to launch his stick bomb at Karsk Coulson, who is in cover, and because he is injured, he is actually going to hit on 4s as he is -1 ballistic skill. 4 dice coming out, and all of these are going to miss. Herzog Stomp Krumpa then activates with some of the final activations, charging into Von Lecht, and this could really be painful as he wields the Power Claw. And the Power Claw from Herzog has 4 attacks and it will hit on 3s. Von Lecht is already injured at this point, so anything would basically kill him. He's going to be fishing for criticals here to try to block any of these hits. And there will be 2 hits that come across. He will get to reroll one of those for Get Stuck In total 3 hits. Von Lecht does strike twice, but when Herzog strikes him the first time, he's going down. He is incapacitated. And that brings turn 2 to a close, and quite a bloody one, as some of the veteran guardsmen were incapacitated. Some of the greenskins were incapacitated as well, and the score is 6-5 in favor of the greenskins. The veteran guardsmen scoring 1 extra point there for Hold the Line, bringing their total score to 5. Hold the Line being scored because none of the greenskins within 6 inches of their board edge. And going right into priority rolls for turn 3, the Krieg will be up, and they are going to play Clear the Line. This allows them to retain 1 successful hit without rolling it. The greenskins are going to play Wog, and that allows them to essentially turn, if they have 2 successful hits, they can make one of them a crit. Officer Gray instructs his men within 6 inches to fix bayonets, allowing them to reroll 1 or all of their attack dice in close combat. The Krieg activate Raf Ackerman with his Flamer, will target Farksnot, not hitting the operative behind him as he is concealed in cover, so there will be 5 dice coming out here from the Flamer, hitting on 2s, and that is going to result in 3 total hits. So Farksnot does have 3 defensive saves, and rolling those out, he is going to be looking for 5s, and he will get 1. That'll be a total of 4 damage on Farksnot. He is injured. Raf is then going to use his next action to move back into cover. On the Ork's first activation, Garad is going to walk up to the objective and loot it. This will be the last time that this objective will be able to be looted, and the Orks will gain a victory point. Next up, Erlen Heckler charges into Farksnot with his Trench Club. Both of these guys are injured, so they will be hitting on a weapon skill of 4. And the Trench Club will swing out with 3 attacks, and Farksnot, of course, has a Choppa with 4 attacks. So dice coming out here. 3 attacks from the bayonet. One of these will be good. We are going to get to re-roll one of these due to fixed bayonets. And the Ork player needs 4s due to that Ork being injured as well. There's 1 hit each here, and the Ork player will play just a scratch. This will make Eckler's strike have no effect, and then striking Eckler himself, the Bruiser special rule allows him to parry with that Trench Club, and there will be no damage on this exchange. Herzog Stompkrumpa activates next and charges into Officer Gray, and he is going to get 4 swings from that big Power Claw. Officer Gray will also get 4 swings from his power weapon, and we do get to retain one of these as a hit. We roll out all of his dice, almost forgetting that, but remembering he does get to retain one as a hit without rolling. Herzog then using Wog, he will get to turn 2 of these regular hits into a critical. He will strike Officer Gray for 7 damage. Officer Gray strikes him back for 4. Up next, Karsk Thinman is going to attack with that bionic arm. He is getting an assist, but he's also injured, so we'll need 4s to hit, and we are retaining one of these dice as a hit automatically for the ploy that was played at the beginning of the turning point. Only 1 hit goes through, and a lot come through on the Choppa. So while he will inflict some damage onto Watts is going to completely obliterate him with the dice that he has remaining, and he will be incapacitated. We will take the 5-up hardened by war saves. This is not going to save him, however. Watts will go down to 1 wound. Over for the Greenskins, Snood is going to loot the objective for the 3rd time, scoring the Greenskins a victory point. He will then use his second action to move into cover with a Conceal Order. And now back to the Guardsman. We've got Griff Dansk. He is going to fight against Watts again. and he of course has a bayonet. He gets to retain 1 as an automatic hit. He will get a critical, but he needs 4s to hit as he is injured. Wutz is also injured, also needing 4s as well. He gets 3. The strike comes across from Griff first, however, and this is going to take Wutz out of the game. Now, since we did mess up Death and Atonement, this technically should never have happened because Griff should have been removed from the game anyway, but we are learning as we go. I'll try to watch through the content and make notes of the rules that I catch. With Death and Atonement now over as we counted it, Griff exits the game. On the other side of the board, Farksnot makes quick work of Erland Heckler and loots the objective for a VP. Karsk Coulson then moves on to an objective and loots it for a VP for the guard, and then Zug Zug uses an action to loot, and then he climbs the stairs looking to take on Fyodor Ektor. Ektor will get the jump on him, however, with his Melt-A-Gun, firing with 4 shots, and he will hit on 4s, and that is going to result in 2 hits. This should have counted as 12 wounds, but I believe we missed it and only counted it as 8 per the mortal wounds. And back to the Orks, Dakadak lines up a shot at Karsk Coulson with his big Shuda. 6 attacks hitting on 5s. He is in cover, and shots go out. There will be 3 in total with 2 criticals. So cover will take care of one of those, but all of the saves are going to fail. 2 crits go through, 6 damage. Rotating back to the veteran guardsman, we've got Bas Lasko with his long last, lining up a shot at Urzog Stormkrumpa, the leader of the group. He hits on 2s, 4 dice coming out, and I'm going to use a command point reroll to reroll one of these back out, looking for a 2. That will result in 3 hits. Urzog has 4 up saves, 3 dice come across, and all of them are failed, and he will take 6 damage. Urzog will have 6 wounds remaining. Slazbag is then going to activate for the Orks, move up to the objective. Slazbag then fires his Slugga at Raf Ackerman through the cover, and this will be 4 shots hitting on 5s, and 2 of these will go through, 1 crit, 1 normal. The cover will get rid of the normal save, and I will be fishing for 6s here with 2 dice. I will get it, and that will save those shots. Officer Gray, sensing retribution and challenging Urzog with his power weapon, he will take 4 shots, needing 4s because he is injured. Urzog also injured, so is at a -1 weapon skill. There will be a crit that comes across in a normal hit, and Urzog does not hit enough to turn one of those into a crit to block it. Officer Gray is going to strike him with his power weapon and strike him down, incapacitating him for this game. Gruck, aggravated that the big boss just went out of combat, decides to target Officer Gray and fire his rocket launcher across the board. Officer Gray is in cover, but he does have an engage order. 5 shots going out, needing 5s, and he gets a critical hit. Officer Gray is going to roll up for defense, and 3 dice are coming out, and he is going to block it. For his second action, Gruck is going to loot that back objective for the 3rd time this game, giving the Greenskins another victory point. Now back to the Guardsman. Past Reeves, the spotter, is going to switch up to an engage order. He's going to use his first action to move. His second is going to be to fire at Grodd, and Grodd is going to get the benefit of cover here. 4 shots coming out from his last gun, and he will be looking for 4s. Dice hit the deck, and that will be 4 total hits with 1 critical. And defense dice being taken, 1 of these taken out due to cover, 2 roll out, and 1 will be blocked, but that will be 5 damage onto Grodd, and that will incapacitate him for this game. We've then got Snickerat playing it safe, just moving around the back. He still just has 1 wound remaining, and that brings us to the end of the 3rd turning point. And with the end of 3, the Orks continue to score points, and the total score is 11-7. The veteran guardsman getting 1 for hold the line, not allowing the Orks into within 6 inches of their table edge. The Orks also gaining 1 for execution. And turn 4 initiative rolls coming out, it's going to go back to the Greenskins, and Zug Zug, who should completely be dead. We missed that melt-a-gun rule. He charges into Fyodor Ektor, and he is going to lash out. They did play Get Stuck In, so getting to reroll one of their combat dice. And 4 attacks coming out from his Choppa. That is going to result in no hits. And then I go ahead and roll my attacks. I do get 3 of those. I am going to land 1 hit. He then remembers Get Stuck In, so re-rolling one of his dice back out, it will still miss, and I will do enough damage to kill Zug Zug. Over for the Guardsman, Officer Gray is going to scoot over with an engage order and target Slazbag with his plasma pistol. This is going to be 4 shots, hitting on 4s due to his injured status. And he is going to overcharge this plasma gun, so on a 1 it will get hot. So 4 dice coming out, hit the deck looking for 4s. And there is a 1 out there, so I'm going to use a command point to re-roll that back out. There is 1 critical on the table, and there are 2 criticals on the table with that re-roll. At AP2, that will completely melt through Slazbag's armor and incapacitate him for this game. Farksnot then moves up to the objective and loots it for the 3rd time this game. And then we have Fyodor Ektor. He moves up and he is going to shoot down at Dakadak with that melt-a-gun. He fires with 4 dice looking for 4s, and 3 of these are going to hit with 1 critical. That automatically does 4 mortal wounds. AP-2 cuts right through his armor, and Dakadak is taken out of action. Gruk is then going to move up to the objective and loot it for the 3rd time, giving the Greenskins a victory point. And Bass Lasko changing his order up to an engage order, charging into Snood over on the right flank, trying to prevent Hold the Line from that getting taken away from them. And he fixes his bayonet, and 3 strikes coming across, needing 4s. 2 hits go through. The Choppa from Snood comes back across with 4 attacks, needing 3s, and he gets to reroll 1 for Get Stuck In. That is going to result in 3 hits. And Bass Lasko will parry away that first hit. Snood is going to strike him back, and Bass Lasko is going to parry away that last hit. So with 4 damage done onto Bask, Snood is going to execute a fallback maneuver, getting into the deployment zone. This is going to get a reaction from Pask Reeves, who comes over with his last gun, attempts to shoot him, 4 dice coming out, needing 4s. All of them miss. In final moves, Snickrat is going to just pass to stay out of line of sight. And then the Flamer moves around the left flank. He is going to target Farksnot with that Flamer, and that is going to be 6 dice coming out. We'll get a handful of hits here. Saves are taken by Farksnot. All are easily failed as he needs 5s. That will be enough to take him out of the game. And that is going to bring us to the end of Turning Point 4 and the end of the game. So the Greenskins are going to take a victory today by the final score of 13-8. The veteran Guardsman scoring 1 extra point there at the end for damage limitation. They had a tough go in this one. I misplayed a lot of things as the Guardman. I misplayed a lot of ploys, playing overcharged last guns without actually firing the last guns, at least a lot of them. Also, not using the vantage point to the fullest extent, putting a melt-a-gun up there with a very short range. As we continue to play more kill team, our tactics and everything that we do will improve. This one was a bit difficult for us and actually took us a very long time to play because the Guardsman just threw in a complete new wrinkle. I think if I had it to do over again, I would have limited the number of specialists to maybe 2 or 3, and then just ran the rest as regular veteran Guardsmen just to kind of learn how things work and how things synergize. Regardless of all the things that we got wrong, I try to go back and watch the footage to make the corrections. If you see anything, feel free to correct those as well. I'm responsible for teaching my son to play, and your feedback is critical to making that happen. I would like to say thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to the 2021 and 2022 Coffee Supporters Club. Your names are on the screen now. Certainly appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed this battle report, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.